Hey everybody. Hey Debbie. How are you? Girl, I hope you're having a better day than me. I have had, I don't know what my problem is. I just have not been feeling it today. I can't tell if I'm tired or if I'm sick and tired. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I just feel like, ugh. Like, you know what? The world is ridiculous. And maybe I'm being the one ridiculous. That's possible. So today has just been kind of like, I don't know, I have not been feeling it. Honestly, the live has kind of probably been the highlight of my day. And I was thinking earlier, I'm like, oh, I'm glad you're doing good though. That's good, Debbie, that's good. I just have had a kind of a, I don't know, a blue mood, you know, kind of day. I just, ugh. I had to do some things, you know, like run some errands and stuff, and I did all that, and it was fine. Yeah, I probably need to take a day off. I think tomorrow I've got a few phone calls to do, Zoom meetings, but I think maybe tomorrow I'm gonna just kind of chill. Maybe take Carly's over tonight. She came over because Ashley and Zach are going somewhere, so I think maybe her and I may just go down to Galveston or somewhere tomorrow. Who knows? End up somewhere. But you know, I think part of it, Debbie, is oh, by the way, I'm base coating this for tomorrow. This is my Boo Ghost. I'm base coating with my roller. But I'll get to the hey y'all. Hey Miss Victoria, how are you doing? I really enjoyed yesterday watching you do the witch's legs. I learned some new stuff, which is awesome. And you know, it is, and I think probably Victoria, you can relate to this. It is. Ooh, I don't know. It's just exciting for me to be able to find people, somebody that I can learn from. You know, I don't mind teaching what I know. I enjoy teaching what I know. But it also, you want to be, you know, sometimes you want to be the student or the pupil, not always the teacher. You know, for those of you just coming on, I'm just, I am going to do the Hey Y'all door hanger. But right now, I'm base coating this for tomorrow. I base coat a lot of times with a roller just because it gets through faster. So I'm base coating this Boo Ghost with the roller. But I think tomorrow, let's see, Wednesday is when I'm doing the live on this in the Painters Club. But I see you ladies that just came on. I was telling Debbie, she was the first one that signed on tonight. And you know, life is kind of funny. But I always say I got to practice what I preach. And I think some of y'all know that Ashley sometimes will really have a hard time. She's gotten a lot better, but in the beginning she was having a hard time with lives and just feeling real anxious. And so I would, she would call me and say, Mom, what am I supposed to do? You know, my hands are shaking. And I would tell her, baby girl, get back on live, you know, and look at the camera and acknowledge what you're feeling. You know, if you're feeling anxiety or whatever it is, you know, say, this is where I am. This is, you know, what I'm feeling. This is how I'm feeling. I don't know why I'm feeling it, but I am. And so anyway, I was just telling Debbie earlier when she was the first one on. Today has just been a hard day for me. Debbie said probably need to take a day off, and that's probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And I think part of what's going on with me today is I just feel like with all the kids going back to school, well, as much as going back to school means, you know, some virtual, some whatever they call it, distance learning, some of them going to school, some of them not. And then I think what bothers me about that is whenever we see across the country the disturbance to the degree that, you know, we can't start school and kids, hey, the adults, you know, we're adults, we'll figure it out or not. But with the kids, it's just really hard to see that kind of thing going on. You know, people get on social media and argue, should they go back to school, should they not? You know, should we wear a mask or do mask out? You know, all that kind of negativity, blah, 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 blah. And I just think today, I'm like, y'all, I'm really over it. Can we just not talk about that? Yet this is our reality, so we have to talk about it. There's no way we can't. So that's kind of the kind of day I've had. And so y'all just bear with me. I just feel like everything can be worked out, but when it's, for me, when it's affecting the kids the way I see it affecting the kids, that really bothers me. And I think that's probably, you know, the teacher, the mom, the grandma, because, you know, my granddaughter, she's going to be in 5th grade, and she really doesn't want to do distance learning, so it's real hard. I try to stay positive in front of her, but she doesn't like that. She's like, Nana, I don't want to do distance learning. I want to go to school. So it's like, you know. So hold on just a second. Let me put this under the dryer. We'll start on the Hey Y'all door hanger. So that's the kind of day I've had. I'm hoping y'all are having a better day than me. But believe it or not, coming on here and doing the live, I don't know, I think it's because painting is normal for me. It made me kind of like, okay, you know, I can do this. So, we're gonna be working on the Hey Y'all door hanger. Now, I think you can tell my Hey Y'all door hanger is a little bit modified, okay? So, yeah, it's hard on the parents, absolutely. And I think it's hard on everybody, Debbie, and maybe that's the kind of day I was having. I was like, okay, y'all, I'm so over this, you know. I'm sure everybody feels that way, but I'm just like, you know, just really, really over it. And just kind of like, who knows what's best? Because I promise you, no matter what we do, in 2 years, they're going to come out and say, well, the mask didn't do this, or the this did that, or the this did that, and that didn't really work, and this is what we should have done. All that's coming. I'm telling you, all that's coming. So, I don't know, those of you who know where I live, which a lot of you do, I don't have a driveway to my front door. So, I'm not going to put this as a door hanger. So, I had my son cut off the bottom edge and put this on a 2x4. I don't know if you can see it. So, my plan is, I'm going to put some fall leaves down here. And this is going to stand up in my kitchen like as a fall piece of decoration. So, but anyway, I think that it's super cute. And I did a little bit on here just so we could do some stuff tonight. And you're going to see us, we're going to have to go over a lot of this. But I base coated, what I did is I base coated this. Back here is the teal. I think it's number 7 teal. And then of course this is your light orange. And this is a Scarecrow white. And I did this nutmeg, and this is that red orange. And then this is the light orange. I already did a little bit of shading on here. But what I wanted to show you, and of course, I thought I had it right here, and I can't ever find what I'm looking for. Here it is. I think what I'm gonna do on that background, because that background is kind of dark for me. So I'm going to take a little bit of paint. I've got my little foam pouncer here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some polka dots behind there. If I can find the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the sky blue bottle. And of course I can't find the sky blue. Here it is. Is this it? Here it is. Okay, so I got some, this is the teal. I'm going to take a little bit of sky blue. With this foam pouncer, I'm going to turn this down some so you guys can see a little better. So I went ahead and did this in teal, and I went ahead and did the letters black because they take so much time, and I want to shade these letters tonight for y'all. And if I didn't go ahead and get a good base coat down there, I wasn't going to be able to shade them because I don't think I've done a lot of shading on the black letters for you guys yet. So I'm going to use my little pouncer, and I'm just going to do this. And it's kind of a last minute thought on my part. And if you'll notice, this sky blue is just kind of a faint, I mean not faint, it's not a big contrast between the teal and the sky blue. Not too big a contrast. That's okay. I don't want it to be very bright, but I want to have a little bit more of a background than just that solid teal background. I'm having a hard time here, y'all, getting the right amount of paint on my pouncer. But I think having a few polka dots on the background kind of just dulls it up a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead, and I know that that's over that black, but that's okay. I kind of want it over that, and I'll come back and fix it. I'm gonna take a few of them and just do them over here where it looks like they're going off the edge. Kind of give it that continuous look. Make you kind of feel like, oh, okay, that's a big background in the back. And then once these things are dry, I might even come over here and put a little bit of white on them. We'll see. We'll see. So I've got some dots there. I'm gonna let those dry, and I just use that little foam pouncer. This is teal. Teal. I'm gonna get better at this. Number 7, teal number 7, and number 1, sky blue. Okay, I like that. I want to do a little bit of dry brushing too, because I haven't done that in a long time. I used to do more of it, and I don't know if you're like me, things kind of come and go. So sometimes you do it for a little while and then you just do something, you don't do it. I don't know why. All right, so I've got the shading orange. So this is that light orange, right? And I've got my shading orange right here. And I just put a little bit of water in it. That's what I did. All right. I'm going to get one of my trusty little flat brushes out. One of the smaller ones, because that's a small area. That's a small area. I'm going to dip my paint in here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of back off and walk off some of that. Because this is a small area, so I'm trying to make sure that I don't try to do too much shading on there. I'm just kind of bringing that right up in like that. What I'm doing a little bit different, because I don't want a whole lot of shading in there, I'm putting the paint on there like I normally do, and I'm kind of coming in here and just walking it off a little bit. Okay. And then I probably would do something like kind of create this. I need a little more paint. Kind of bring it in here. And I'd come up here. And I'd come over here. Now I also need a little bit of white. So I'm going to just dab just a little bit. You can see there's not a whole lot in there. Kind of come up this way. Put a little more paint on there. And then I'm going to come up here, here. I got to get a little. I'm going to do this just like so. Now, I ended up doing a lighter green on here than what I normally would, but that's okay. I'm going to double load this brush a little bit. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do on these leaves. I got to get some paper plates. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the dark green, not much, just a dab. And then you can use Christmas green if you want. I'm just going to do a little bit of the I think we call it mint green. And you can see by on here I don't have a whole lot of paint on my brush. I'm going to kind of double load it this way. And then I'm going to kind of come back here this way a little bit. And see how it gets that really pretty shade? That's kind of what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to come over here. I need some more green. See, I don't have enough on there. Got to be careful about which way you turn this thing, y'all. I'm going to try to come over here and get a little bit more. Trying to. All right, then I'll kind of come in here and fill that in a little bit. Then I'll go over here and we'll come down here like so. I'm gonna load again. And come over here like this. And I've got to kind of come in here and get a little bit more green. And then I'll probably come on down here like that. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot to those leaves other than that. That's kind of called double loading. And so I don't have a whole lot left on my pumpkin and my leaves other than outlining, obviously. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to put a little bit, this was done in nutmeg, which is really dark. So I'm going to try to lighten that up just a little bit. What I will do, I'm going to take some shading brown, not a lot. Again, this is a fairly small brush. It's a number 12. Hey Con, hey Victoria, hey Jan. So glad y'all could join me. Y'all don't know it, but y'all really make my day when y'all show up and let me jabber my jaws off to you. Okay, so I got that. I just put a little bit of the shading brown on there because that I started this whole door hanger, especially the teal and the nutmeg, are a lot darker backgrounds than what I normally start with. But you know, I feel like a lot of times I just do the same thing over and over, so we kind of have to change it up a little bit. So I did number 7 teal. This of course is black, and then I just did some sky blue pouncer circles. We're going to come back and put a little bit of white on those, and I think that'll really brighten it up. I already did some dry brushing on here, but I'm going to do some more for you guys because this kind of turned out a little bit lighter than what I thought I wanted, or than what I expected, so I need to work on that. So, but in the interest of trying to work from here towards my body, because if I do this and then I'm reaching over here, then this is going to get messed up. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to work on the hay that's underneath the neck. Now typically what I do with that is I'll get back on that flat tip brush, that number 12, and I'm going to go with some shading yellow, which I think is called number 14 if I remember right. Yellow's number 13. So I just did this in the yellow, light yellow, and then I've got the shading yellow right here, and I'm just putting it on the little tip right there. So I'm going to come over here and come down and then come back up. All I'm doing at this point is just kind of going around, and then I will do this. I'm going around the perimeter there of what the CNC has done, and I'll kind of come back here. I'll go here, come down, come back up, and then I'll do it twice in here, I think. I'm gonna come over here. And this is just hay, that's all it is. I'm gonna come down, kind of come up, here, come down, come up, and then I'll come up over here like so. And I'm gonna leave this right here. I'm not gonna shade that corner. I'm gonna leave that alone. Kind of make it kind of look like we're going off the edge there, right? Now we've got his mouth right here, and then of course we've got the Scarecrow white here. Now here's the thing, I always struggle with this, and we're gonna play with this new little thing that I've got in my head that I don't know if it's gonna work or not. So I've just got this shading yellow that I did on the hay. I'm gonna take this brush and I'm just gonna kind of do this. See, I've got my paper towel. I'm just kind of drying it in there, if you will. And here's the end of my mouth, and I'm gonna kind of do this. It's that shading yellow that's just kind of in there. I want a cheek, but you don't want, you know, a god-awful cheek. You want a cute cheek, but you don't want it too overbearing. So I dried a lot of that shading yellow out, and I think I kind of like that cheek. You got a cheek, but it's noticeable, but it's not totally overbearing, okay? So, and then all I did here was that light orange, and then of course this is your shading orange. Now, I think with this guy, trying to think what I want to do. I want to give him blue eyes over here. So when I look at this, I think I'm going to kind of do some blue right there. And I might even do it the teal color. Let me try teal, y'all. Let's see. So teal is this darker color, right? I'll do that, I think, to kind of match the background of my circle that says, hey, y'all. So let's put a little teal right here and see what we think. Okay, so I've got my script liner, and I'm going to just kind of come up here. I'm going to give this guy some personality, y'all. I'm going to do like so, like this, this, this. I think I'm going to call that success for right now. We're going to leave that alone. Now, I am going to do something, I haven't decided what, as far as shading his face. I think I'll just kind of shade it right down here a little bit. I'm not going to do it up here. I think I'll try to come down here and get a little bit of shading down here. And then we're going to be ready to outline his face or his mouth, and of course up here. So, I'm not sure what we're going to do. So let's do this. This is my shading orange. I've got this, and it's got quite a bit of water in it. It's got, not quite a bit, I'm going to take some of it out, but I do want a little bit of water in there. And I'm going to just kind of come over here like this. I'm just dragging that paint to where I think I want it, you know, to kind of follow me. And do like so. And again, I'm just kind of dragging it up here. I don't think I'm going to come over here. I want to leave room for eyes and a few eyebrow, not really eyebrows, but a little eyebrow marks. They're not really eyebrows, but so I think I'm going to leave that the way that is. Now, I think I might go ahead though and do something like this. Just a little bit under the eyes. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Okay? Now, I'm going to do my hat part last. And I think what I'm going to do down here, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. If I turn it this way, maybe you can. This little guy's got a, I did this in shading brown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the number 23 shading red. And with that shading red, I'm just going to do a little bit down here. I'm so close to the board, I'm not going to do very much. But it needs a little something, I think. So let's do this. Let's get some shading red. Okay. And you can tell I don't have a whole lot in here. All right. I'm going to kind of just come down off the shoulder. And I'll probably come down like so. Because like I said, I don't have a whole lot of space to work with, but I'm going to put just a little bit of something in here. There we go. And then I think I'll put some white down here. Now, when I'm looking at this, I think these dots are dry enough. Let's try this. I like those dots, but I do think they need a little bit more help. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of white on them dots. And I'm going to try to be very subtle with what I'm doing. Here's another towel. I'm going to just try to tip it off just a little bit. See, I'm not doing a whole lot. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of something, something there. Okay, so I do think I need to do some script liner work. So let's stop for a second. I've got that dark green right here. I'm gonna put some water in there. And we're gonna do this. You are using white, not Scarecrow white, right? Okay, so what I did on here, Debbie, is, put this over here where y'all can see it better. This is Scarecrow white, but this right here is white. What I did right here is white. The face is Scarecrow white, but that's the only place I use Scarecrow white. Good question. So I've got that dark green, and I'm gonna come in here and help my leaves out a little bit. For highlights, I use white, solid white, the regular white. Yeah, I always tend to use Scarecrow white on my Scarecrow faces. I mean, not all the time, but I would say 60, 70, 80% of the time I do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here where that CNC line is, and I'm gonna kind of do this. And I'm just taking that, you can't tell, I don't know if you can tell by looking, but this number 12 dark green has a lot of water in it. I had to kind of water it down to get it to stay and lay down in that CNC line. So I'd probably do something like this. And I think that's all I would do on the leaves. Oh, now I've got what I call curly cues. I don't really know, or vines, I guess is really what they are. And I would do those in the dark green. And they're just vines, that's all they are. Yep, so I'm kind of going here. And the vine comes all the way out to here on this one. And basically I'm just following that CNC line. That's all I'm doing, just following, 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 following. Kind of come in here. Yeah. There we go. I'm going to part it. I've got to bear down just a little bit to get it in there. And then I'm going to come back out here. And so I've got my leaves and my vines. I'm pretty happy with that. So what I'll do on my pumpkin. Hey Rachel, how are you? I'm so glad you could join us. So good to see you guys. Ashley and I were talking today and she said, Mom, I haven't had a live and I don't think she had a live since last Monday. And she's like, I'm feeling kind of lonely for the ladies. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. At first, when you first start doing lives, now I taught school and as Bruce says, I could talk to a fence post and that's probably true. But so the lives really didn't bother me as much as maybe a lot of other ladies that I've talked to. They're like, did you get really nervous? I'm like, well, I don't know, not really. I kind of yap my jaws most all the time. So, but they can be nerve-wracking for some folks. Ashley had a hard time at first. She's kind of adjusted. But it's kind of nice because then you kind of get to do a little congregating with the folks and do what you like, which is painting. So that part is good. Now I don't get nervous, but you do have to make sure you have all your supplies, because if I sit down and paint and I can't find a jar of paint, no big deal. I'll just go find it. But that's not quite the same whenever you're doing a live. You kind of have to make sure you have all your supplies on hand, so to speak. So what I would do in this case, I'm just putting a little bit of I'm using red orange right now, and I'm just making it real faint. Giving a little bit here, here, here. Just kind of down, up, down, up, down, up right there. But now out here on this CNC line, I'm doing a whole line. Right here, okay? Get in between that vine color there. and then come on down. And then I might kind of just do a little bit in here, you know, just kind of a few swipes. And I'm going to use my number 23 shading red on the stem of my pumpkin. So I'm going to do this right here. I used to paint a lot of scarecrows. They are a lot of work, if you especially you get to doing the big ones. I haven't painted as many of them in the last several years, probably because they're just so much work. Now I'll just do a couple of those and a couple of those. So I want to show you, Mary has 3 sisters, but just the talking. I still bet she talks all of them. Hey, look, you know, I don't know why we always talk so much, because it ain't like we have very important things to say. I don't know, that's how we all are. But I always feel like what I have to say is important. It probably isn't, but you know, what the heck. And it always amazes me at some people who are just naturally quiet. Now my son is very quiet, that's just how he is. But me and my sisters, not so much. Okay, so what I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have this, I really don't even know. Miss Victoria might know what kind of brush this is. I call it, it's almost like a scruffy brush, but it's kind of got a lot of bristles and they're kind of hard. So I'm going to put some paint on here and then I'm going to take it off. Here's my paper towel. Yeah, it takes after Bruce, yeah. So I've got some white on there and I'm going to take it off. A lot of it, not all of it, just kind of a lot of it. And I want to just kind of go do this. I want to kind of give my letters some depth. I'm kind of doing that dry brush thing. I'm not really trying to make it, you know, very pronounced, so to speak. But I am just kind of giving it some white highlights, if you will. I'm having to kind of bear down on that brush because I don't have a lot of paint, which you don't want a lot of paint. And see, it takes that black darkness all the way to something, just a little bit of a highlight on it. And I'm not using a lot of paint. We get a little bit more because I'm kind of getting nothing here. Oh, that was too much, but that y'all get the idea. And I'm just kind of dry brushing it a little bit on there. And that just gives it a little bit more of a kind of a rough look, I think. But I like that, I think, better than just the solid black. Now we gotta go and outline his face. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna outline this face. But I think what I'm gonna do, because I like this shading red for the outline, but I'm not feeling it right now because it is dark. So I'm going to take the shading red, which I have right here, and the shading brown. I'm going to do about a 50-50, give or take. There we go, wipe that off. I'm going to put some water in here. You need me, baby girl? I'm on a live. You want to come say hi to everybody? You have to bend down like this and say hi. This is Carly. She's waiting for me to get off the live because I think her and I are going to go ride the mule together when we get done. We have an old ratty, kind of clunky mule. It runs. Some days not very good. So you can see I'm kind of wanting a dark brown, but I want it to have a lot of red. So I'm getting to that color that I think I'm gonna like. This is almost like what I would call a barn red. But all I did was the shading red and the shading brown half and half. That's all I did. And it's got quite a bit of water in it. And then I'm gonna get my shader and I'm going to come in here, trying to make sure y'all can say, how can we forget the days? Yeah. That Carly, she likes it when Nana gets off the live and gives her undivided attention. Of course, what kid doesn't like that, you know? So I've got this, and I'm just gonna do some outlining right in here. I'm not doing it real thick. I'm kind of holding that brush up a little bit and doing a thin, because this piece is not very big to begin with, so I'm not bearing down on that brush. I'm kind of going light with it. Okay, so I've got that. Now I am going to do the eyes in black, but I'm going to do this bottom part here, like so. And then I'll do the nose like this. And then of course we've got the mouth. We're going to follow that CNC line. Got a little bit of a wavy mouth going here. I'm going to come back here like that. I think I like that. So we got the definition of a face, but not a very harsh black color there. And I'm going to do the eyes in the black though. But I probably will come here and just do this and that. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to outline that, hey. So don't be shy. If you feel like you don't really have the exact color you want, break out the colors that you have, do a little bit of mixing, and you're good to go. You'll find something eventually that you like. That's what I do. Okay. Now we're going to do the eyes and then we're going to work on this hat. So for the eyes, I'm going to go back with I'm just cleaning out this brush, and we're going to do some black. I got to put a little water in this, y'all. Oh, where do we go on the mule? Well, Miss Victoria, we kind of have to wait till it's almost dark. I'm not sure that where we go is exactly legal. No, not a live mule. It's like a Kawasaki, not a four-wheeler. Oh, what do you call it? You know, like a SUV little thing that they have on deer leases and stuff like that. It's very old, but it works. And sometimes I drive, sometimes she drives. And then we go in the back of our neighborhood, back in here, up and down the neighborhood streets. But I don't think we're really supposed to. So, hey, Lynn, how are you? So we're gonna go on the mule for a little while, and she just thinks that that's just the cat's meow when we do that, and so we go do that. But she's like, Nana, are we supposed to go on the street? I'm like, oh sure, it's fine, because she's very, oh, what is the word? She worries about following every single rule that you could possibly think of. So she's always worried about following the rules, kind of thing. She's that kind of kid. So I'm like, nah, cars, it'll be okay, we're fine. And she kind of looks at me and it's like, on one hand, you can tell she doesn't know if she should believe me or not. On the other hand, she doesn't question me too much. Okay, so about got his eyes done. I'm gonna put a little more black in here, and then when they dry, I'll probably come in here and put some white, but they're way too wet right now for that. Just putting some black in there. Yeah, who doesn't like a scarecrow? Especially a Scarecrow that says, hey y'all. Most kids do the opposite. I know. And I find that so funny because, you know, I would expect me to have a kid that would be like a rule breaker, you know, a hell raiser, whatever. She's not like that. You know, if she thinks she's breaking a rule, she will just get upset and nervous. I'm like, Carly, it ain't that big a deal, you know. She's like, well, do you think that we could get in trouble? I'm like, no, we're not going to get in trouble. And then she'll say, Nana, I don't know if you know what you're talking about. True, true. True, true, y'all. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to find a bigger brush, y'all. All right. This is a number 20 flat tip brush. I'm going to come back in here. I think this is outline orange is what I think it is. Red orange, I mean. I'm going to kind of come back here on this hat. We're going to give this hat some personality. And all I'm doing is I'm putting the paint on there and then kind of taking it off. Putting the paint on there, taking it off. Now this is red orange right here. So I'm going to need, I think we're going to do something weird and funky, y'all. We can do that lime green. There we go. That's lime green on there, y'all. This is lime green. I did red, orange, and white here. Okay. Just something to give it some color so it's not looking all so the same color. I'm going to get that script liner out and I'm going back to this mixture that I did of what I do, y'all. Shading red and shading brown. 50-50. That's what I did right here. Yeah, when I saw this guy, I thought, yeah, I've had him for a long time. I just thought he's super cute. And then I'm just going to take my script liner and I'm just dragging some extra brush strokes in there. That's all I'm doing. Just kind of dragging that brush ever so often on top of that dry brushing. Try to put this over here, make sure y'all can see it. Hey Carolyn, how are you? I'm so glad you could join us. We're just talking about my granddaughter Carly. Well, we only have one grandchild, that's all. And she's gonna be, well, she's gone into the 5th grade. She'll be 11. And she just came in here a while ago and wants to know when I'm gonna be done, because she wants me to take her driving on the mule. And it's not an animal, but it's like a little SUV, whatever. I don't know, there's it's a little Kawasaki thing that you use on a deer lease. It's very old. It's almost like about to run down and not even start. But she thinks it's the best thing since sliced bread. So after this, I'll be taking her and going and doing that. And so let me make sure. I'm going to come in here and give it a little bit more under the eye that way. So I want something other than just black. Now, when this is dry, there's several things I'm going to do. I'm going to back up so y'all can see. Let me turn this up a little bit. ATV, there you go. Couldn't think of that word. I knew somebody was going to help me out. So, I was telling those of you that just came on, hold on a second, I'll show you. Of course I can't find it. But this is a round circular door hanger that I cut the bottom. I had my son cut the bottom off of, and then he did a blade, cut a blade through this 2x4, because we're gonna stand this up as a decoration in my kitchen. I don't have a regular front door like most people, because I have a front door, but I don't have a driveway that leads to my front door, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna stand this up. I think what I'll do is get a little bit of a garland down here, some fall garland, and I'll attach that with a stapler, and this is gonna go in my kitchen. And I might even get some little bitty twinkly orange lights at the bottom. I think that would be super cool. But this guy's pretty much done. I think he's cute. He has a lot of personality. He's not hard to do. And just wanted y'all to see him from afar. There we go. Now you can really see him. Excuse me. But so this is what my door hanger is going to look like, y'all, because nobody ever comes to my front door. If anybody knocks on my front door, the dogs would go berserk because nobody comes to my front door. So I'm going to put a little bit of fall garland and maybe a little bit of orange lights down here, and I think I'm going to be done with this guy. But I know that, let me look at the schedule to make, he is cute, isn't he? I think he's super cute. Oh yes, ready for fall weather. Yeah, you don't have to have it as that. You can always put it like Carolyn was saying, you could put it on a back porch or a porch or a door or whatever. The point is that you just have something fall. And I like this because it is fall, but it's not dark traditional fall. That's why I went with something blue here. And then, you know, even though you might not think that, I think it's the lime green. What is that? I'm sorry, mint green. I said lime, I meant mint. This dry brush right here is number 9 mint green, and you would never think to put a mint green, or I wouldn't, but that just gives it a little bit of a pop, kind of something a little bit more decorative. And there you go. You got your door hanger or your wall hanger, or in my case, a table sitter is what it's going to be for me. And I sure would wish the fall weather would get here. I bet everybody does. So, but let me look at my trusty little calendar. All right. So today is August the 10th. So tomorrow, nobody's doing anything. I think maybe Carly and I'll go somewhere tomorrow. And then I'll be back to Wednesday night doing the boo letters and the boo behind the boo, the ghost behind the boo. And then Ashley will be here Thursday. So I'm so glad that you guys could join me and hang out with me for a little while, and especially listen to me jibber jaw. And I think at the first of the video, I was telling everybody that I was just struggling today because I'm just really over all this ridiculousness, you know, and you seeing the kids not being able to go to school, and the parents don't know what to do, and nobody knows what to do. You know how that is. Nobody, I don't think. Even the people who are our leaders know what to do. We're just getting along as best we can. So thank y'all for listening to me and putting up with me, and I hope y'all have a very good evening. Carly and I are going to go out and drive the mule, so we'll probably do that for about an hour. And then we'll come home and go to bed. So thank y'all. Y'all have a good day. And I'll see y'all Wednesday. Ashley will see y'all Thursday. Bye-bye.